think the number one question that everybody wants to know is when you've been married for a while, how do you stop it and prevent it from kind of plateauing or getting worse? Because I'll tell you what, majority of marriages that I see have either plateaued or gotten worse. And that's not because necessarily their life plateaued. Maybe they're making more money. Maybe they're doing different things. But really, they've just kind of gotten stale in their life in a lot of different areas. The number one thing that I would say, besides faith, obviously, that's huge. But outside of that, how me and Diane have been able to transform our lives was this one thing that we did a little over 3 years ago that's now transformed our life and the way we think, live, and why we're able to not only continue to grow in our marriage, but in life and as a man and as a woman. This thing right here, we started going and touching our dreams. For the longest time, those dreams were dreams, and we were like, this is never going to happen. We lived in a small town with people who just have super limited. There was no job opportunities. There was nothing happening there that was vibrant at all. Nothing. We went on a vacation to Sacramento, which was about 5 hours from where we lived and it's where my brother lives. And we were bored one day and we were walking through model homes. It's kind of fun to go do. I'd recommend it for you. And when we went and walked through this model home, this house was about 3 times out of our price point. And I was just like, yo, this is the real deal. And it wasn't like this 10,000 square foot home. It was like probably a normal size home that was probably 25 to 3,000 square feet, which I don't ever want a home bigger than that, but it's just the way it was laid out and the classiness of it, and just modern and all that. I was just like, yo, this is the truth. I said, I got to get this. And Diane was like, me too. Well, because we went and touched our dreams, we put together a process of like, why are we limiting ourselves? Why are we doing this? So that didn't cost us any money to go touch our dreams, but it sparked a fire in us and said, this is what we want. We didn't just kind of look online. We didn't just watch HGTV. We went and touched it. Well, now we knew we had to have this because we were like, yo, we're kind of stale in our life right now. I mean, our marriage is good. We're like an 8.5 out of 10, but everything else just in life is like, ugh. And so what we did was we put a plan together to actually make that happen. I actually put a Facebook post out that said, in 1 year, I'm going to get a house just like this. Well, to be honest with you, normally that was the type of post I put out because I'm a very motivated person. But then sometimes at that time, I wasn't a follower through or disciplined like I am now to actually make those things happen. Now I put something out like that, you better darn well believe it's going to happen. And that same thing can happen for you. But oftentimes that motivation wears off. It's why New Year's resolutions don't work, right? So anyways, we got back home and we just started looking in that area for other houses. But we were looking in our price point. I said, babe, I don't want to just go make a lateral move to just a little bit better of a city and just have a little bit better of a house. Like, if we're going to do this, we got to go, babe. Like, we got to go big and make it happen. We've been talking about this forever. If we're going to do it, let's like make a big splash. I'm not going to tell you all the details, but it was within about 4 weeks, we ended up in Las Vegas. And this was like at the beginning of the pandemic, so tough times. And we were just like, okay, this is where we want to move. This neighborhood's fantastic. This is everything we want, from the house to the neighborhood to the community. There was 2 houses we were choosing from. One was in like a more busier of a street, kind of backed up to some other houses, and they're all kind of clustered in. And I was just like, man, this is a nice house, but not like, it doesn't wow me. It's a better area where we'll live, but the house doesn't do much for me. I said, if we're going to do this, we got to get the house we want. And she's like, I know, but it's out of our price point. And I said, let's just make it happen. She said, let's do it. And so we got the house that we wanted. Still to this day, 3 years later, this house, we wake up every day and we're so thankful. But because of that, it stretched us. Then when we got here, we were looking at gyms, and most of the gyms are nice here, because Las Vegas, but it was about $25 a month. And I was just like, and nothing wrong with that, but they were just packed and all these other things. And when we went to this gym called Lifetime, it's about $300 a month. It's like just a resort, just so nice. You pull up, there's Bentleys, there's Lambos, there's Rolls Royces. The quality of people inside are the type of people that we are wanting to rub shoulders with, not because we want to get Lambos and Bentleys, but because we want to remove limitations from our life, because we want to know what it takes to live that type of lifestyle so we can escalate in our life and provide more for the kingdom. And then we got that gym membership there. And it was out of our price point. But because we just at first I felt out of place. I don't belong here. My unworthiness. Now I walk into that place like I own the joint, right? Because I had to go in there. But had I just said, well, let's just go for the $25 one. Let's just go for the house that's more in our price point. What are we doing? We're telling ourselves we're not worthy or capable of having that other stuff. But because we said we are worthy and capable of having other stuff, we've now raised the bar, which then allowed us for room to go and get that. So my biggest thing for you, and we've done that multiple times, time and time again, between coaching programs for escalating our business to incorporating things in our business to doing different things, which now has transformed our lives and our mentality so much that our marriage has changed so much. And by doing that, that's been transformative for our kids, everybody we've attracted into our life. At that certain time, we moved to Vegas, we didn't know anybody. But now, like, literally, our circle's full of Super Bowl champions, notorious Navy SEALs, 9-figure earners, amazing pastors, all this other stuff, because we went and touched our dreams and made it happen. So I don't know where you're at in life, but if you have goals of maybe having a nicer car, go test drive it. Or maybe rent it on Turo for a weekend and see how it feels. And maybe it's a little bit out of your price range now, but now you know what you want. Or maybe it's driving through neighborhoods that you really want to live in, but maybe it's a little bit out of your goals right now, that where you can go now. But now you can visualize it, and then you reverse engineer backwards and how you're going to make that happen. But by doing that, when you do it together, you build trust to say you can do it, and you build confidence together like, yo, look what we did together. We went from living in this limiting city, 19 years in her job forever, then to becoming a coach and living in this city where we weren't doing anything prosperous to now where we're at. Do you think that empowered my wife and us? Do you think that puts excitement in our relationship? Do you think now when we're talking about goals and dreams, it's not just dreams like, well, yeah, that'd be nice, as everybody says. Must be nice for them. No, we realize we can go get whatever we want. So now we just go keep touching them. If you eventually want a private jet, maybe one time just splurge and get on that jet for the weekend just to rent it, right? Get a seat on it. Whatever that may be, I know that might be out of your league right now, but whatever that is, go and touch it. Stop limiting yourself, because those limiting mindsets what's holding you back, and that's holding your marriage back because you're not vibrant, and now you think you're not capable of having it. A good pastor mentor in my life, he said he never told his kids when they were growing up that we can't afford that, because he didn't want them to think that less of themselves and have a poverty mindset. What he told them was, we're not going to get that right now. It's just a different way of saying it. But oftentimes we tell ourselves, I can't do that. No, you can do that, but maybe you just aren't going to do it right now. You have to change the words you use. And when you become empowered, when you realize you can do that, what do you think happens to your marriage? It transfers over into the intimacy in the bedroom and your conversations and excitements, because you know it's real rather than just a pipe dream of like, yeah, that'd be nice someday. No, it becomes real. So that's where I want to encourage you is to this week, go touch your dreams, whatever that is. If you want to have a different career, start going into those businesses and seeing what it's like to have that career. Whatever that is, go start touching it, and it'll attract you to it. Implement this week. You can start doing it, but then you just back it up with action. Much love.